Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing very well. First of all, you're probably wondering who the hell this is. This is Denise. I am currently back in Brighton. I am moved back to Brighton and I'm staying in an Airbnb before I get to move into my actual apartment next week. And the great thing about this Airbnb is it comes with the most incredible sibling, cutest cats ever. Hi, honey. Oh. The automatic feeder's going off. Is Denise gonna do a runner? Denise, look, you don't give a give a hell about that automatic feeder. Denise is full up from the treats I gave her earlier that I wasn't supposed to. Denise and Rodrigo, they are siblings and they look very similar. I do not know where Rodrigo is right now. He is somewhere roaming the streets. They have a cat flap, which is so cute. But we have little Denise here, and we haven't had a little kitty on the YouTube channel in the longest time, and she is so sweet. I think she's a Maine Coon, which was exactly what my cat Tyler was, and she is so adorable. But anyways, that is for if anyone is thinking that I have got a new cat, because I posted a photo of her and the comments were people being like, oh my god, no way you got a new cat. No, Denise is just my friend for the week and she is absolutely adorable. But anyways, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to my first video for a long time in Brighton, and I'm really excited to be back in Brighton. I have now moved back. And I'm excited to move into my apartment, and I'm excited to have a lore wall again, and I'm excited to have all the photos in the background. So if you have any recommendations on who I should put up there, I'm creating a vision board right now, and I want it to be even more deranged than our last one. But what we're going to talk about today is the fact that the cancelled podcast are really diving into the reasons that they are ending the podcast. Now, I've really been on the defense of Tana and Brooke here because they have been getting a lot of shit online for their decision to end the podcast. There's a lot of people basically very parasocial who are obviously deeply upset. Oh, Denise, one of your hairs just went in my eye. Oh my god, Denise. I know you're over there, babe, but it blew in the wind. Oh, I forgot what living with cats is like. Goodness me, Denise, you're gonna make me cry. Obviously very parasocial fans, upset about the fact that their favorite podcast is ending. I also find it incredibly just, awkward that Tana and Brooke's last couple episodes have really been diving into the reasons that they want to end working together. But they're literally on tour right now together in Australia, which I just think is probably so fucking awkward. The fact that they're literally publicly saying that they don't want to work together anymore, and then they're literally in Australia on an international tour right now that they're contractually obligated to finish. And let me tell you something, I'm aware of having to contractually obligate, finish a tour when you don't want to, but that's me doing it on my own. I can't imagine doing it with someone where you're literally filming episodes being like, I don't want to work with you anymore. But I've been really defending them because a lot of people have this parasocial idea of Tana and Brooke's friendship. So whenever Tana and Brooke kind of pull the veil back on that and shatter the illusion that people have, obviously these parasocial fans are getting really pissed off at them. However, I just think that that is a complete overstep of boundaries from the fans. And I think that people need to realize that, your idea of something is probably different than what it actually is. And if a podcast comes to an end, it's not the first podcast to come to an end. If two people who started as friends don't want to work together anymore because it's affecting their friendship, that has nothing to do with you or me. I know you love the podcast, and it's like, I don't also realize how people don't understand that when the podcast ended, or when the podcast started with cancelled, it very clearly was going to take a trajectory. It kind of reminds me very much so of the Frenemies mold, where Frenemies was always destined to fail. It was great when it was great, but it was always destined to fail because the full narrative around Frenemies was, Trisha and Ethan fighting back and forth, and obviously that was inevitably going to hit a head. And then it started when Trisha was in a really chaotic time period of her life, and then she found Moses and really started wanting to settle down, so she didn't want to keep up that mode anymore. So obviously the Frenemies podcast was going to inevitably end because it couldn't keep up what it originated as. And the Cancel podcast is another perfect example of that. Which is Tana and Brooke, started this as party girls. Tana was not sober. She's now sober, but she wasn't back then. They were going out drinking. They were blacking out. They were hooking up with people. That was the stories of the Cancelled podcast. It originated. I don't know how the people who watch it, who are attacking them, don't understand this, but even I, who don't often watch the podcast, know this. It started as that debrief after a night out, which a lot of people, love. I love a debrief with my friends. It's messy. You're telling stories that you know, your friend who you're with blacked out and forgot. Like, a debrief is funny. Me and my friends love doing them. And that was the structure of the podcast. So, and they were both single, which was very important to the narrative. So when we have Brooke now engaged and we have Tana in a, you know, long-term relationship with someone that she is considering settling down with and moving to a different state with, and also wanting to talking about wanting kids and being sober, obviously, not only are they both completely different in what they started the podcast at, but also it's important to note that both Tana and Brooke are in two different journeys now. And that is that, you know, Brooke is engaged. She still drinks. She goes out. She does whatever. Tana does not really go out anymore. She is sober. And it is hard for people who are sober to be around people when they're drinking or whatever. And Tana has openly, you know, had these conversations before. And I'm not trying to speak for her here, but I have a lot of friends in Brighton that are sober. And we've had in-depth conversations about how they feel when they, you know, come out and we're all drinking or we're all smoking. And it's like, I completely get that argument as well. And I just think that people need to be a lot more understanding to people. And I think there's another argument that's coming into this where people are saying, oh, this is so privileged to be like, you've had enough of your job. Absolutely it is. But TV shows end, and you're not saying that actors are privileged for walking away from their TV show either. And I just think, like, would you rather continue watching an episode knowing you're forcing these people to be together? If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. Is it privileged to be able to easily walk away from a job where you're saying that even though you hate it, you're making millions of dollars? Absolutely. We are on YouTube right now. This shit is so fucking unserious. Let's stop acting like this is a serious fucking place, okay? So anyways, let's get into it. I just wanted to do some thoughts there. But the cancel podcast may be coming to an end. But you know what doesn't need to be coming to an end? Hit it. The cancel podcast may be coming to an end, but you know what doesn't need to come to an end? A summer of good pleasure, mama. Okay, today's video is sponsored yet again by adamandeve.com, who we love on this YouTube channel. We don't take a lot of sponsorships over here because I only want to show what is working and what is good. So if you go to adamandeve.com and use code ADAM50, you will get 50%, literally half off one item and free shipping in the US and Canada. And also for the international baddies, don't worry, they got us as well with their shipping. Now, Adam and Eve have so many things for if you're having a hot girl summer and you're single, hot girl summer and you're in a relationship, if you're looking for fun, if you're looking for, you know, fun times with yourself, but also they have a bunch of fun games over there as well. They have a lot of really fun self-care things. They literally have everything, and Adam and Eve are going to make sure that we have a hot girl summer because they have hooked us up with the incredible deal, which literally gives you half off one item and free shipping. I love Adam and Eve. They are over 50 years in the game. They have a 90-day no-hassle returns, 24/7 customer service, and a reason that I love standing behind them is because a lot of their proceeds goes to helping fighting the spread of HIV all around the world. So not only are we going to have a good-ass, sexy-ass summer because of them, but they're also really great to work with as well. So if you have been looking for something to spice up your relationship or spice up your life if you are single, look no further than adamandeve.com and make sure to use code ADAM50 for 50% half off one item and free shipping in the US and Canada. They're hooking us up this summer. If you're hooking up or not, they will have things for you over there. Me and my friends love Adam and Eve as well. And again, I just really appreciate them coming back and supporting my channel. And thank you to the muckers who use the code ADAM50. You get a fun ass summer in return, but also it's a huge support of my channel. So thank you to everyone involved. Let's have a hot girl summer, everyone, using code ADAM50 on adamandeve.com. On with the video.
So much right now. And like, I've really been like so off my phone in Hawaii.
Tana looks gorge, by the way. Face card beat, hair gorge.
I'm like so happy. And then like the day before I had to leave, I opened my phone and like really got on it and started thinking about the things I had to do. And like thinking about coming to do this podcast. And like, I was just like so overwhelmingly sad. It just sucks. Like so much, I think. Because everyone wants to make it this whole thing that it like fucking isn't, one.
Yeah.
And like two, it is a very sad feeling that like something that once made you so happy does the complete opposite of it. And I think for like so long, I was like so good at.
And also, I do just want to clarify that for the last couple months of Cancelled, all I've seen is, you know, from covering, you know, people giving backlash to the podcast is people being like, oh, look, Brooke clearly hates Tana. Look, Tana clearly hates Brooke. Look, Tana's carrying. Look, Brooke's carrying. You're pinning these people together and against each other. And I just don't understand how people didn't think that this was not inevitably going to end. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too lenient here, but I just don't see it as that deep. And I think that the harassment that both of them are getting because of this decision is so unproductive.
it, you know,
Turning it on.
yeah, and I just like can't anymore. And it's like, once again, it's so shitty that people like just make it something that it's like so not. I saw this thing where someone was saying like being in something that no longer serves you can feel like, and I didn't graduate high school, so it's a funny take, but like walking the hallways of a high school that you once went to that you're so familiar with and like you used to love so much.
Don't say it.
And that's a great comparison that fills so many things in life. You know what I mean? I love that analogy. Walking the halls of your school when you've graduated and you no longer need to be there. Like, that's a great analogy.
And like that's how it feels like coming to do this. And it's I'm sorry for making this episode this today, but it's like
I'm sorry.
no,
Keep it pushing.
I don't know. I think that I was looking
Is
at
that a damn Labubu unboxed beside Brooke as well?
the embodiment of strength being like seeing this contract through, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to think that it is something to do with us. Like it is just like,
Although I don't think we have to say that,
Oh my god, it literally is. It's an unboxed Labubu.
because it is to do with us. You know what I mean? Like, it's how we feel about our individual lives, our mental health, our friendship. It's everything to do with us.
no, I know. I guess I just mean like,
But like, yeah,
seeing
our
people
relationship.
say that like, I hope you fucking die.
Yeah.
And like, just like seeing people say the most vile shit. Like I think I needed that like stark contrast of being in Hawaii and really thinking about my life and going from peace for it to be so black and white for me. Like now I have to come home and I have to sit on this couch and I have to talk about all these things that like I
I
don't
think
want.
the important context there is I think Makoa is either from Hawaii or he has family there. And him and Tana go out frequently. And whenever Tana goes out there, she very clearly talks about enjoying it and having a much different pace of life. And again, that's all part of her sobriety as well. You know, very different than like the LA nightlife scene. And, you know, I've got to give it to her. She has really done a 180 in her life.
I talk
Good
about
for
just
her.
to like further a conversation to then have more like you know what I mean, just like this fucking
Yeah, to invite more of what you're trying to get away from. And
I came to the conclusion that like I don't want to see this contract through. And I like and then I go online and I see all these edits of us like once just like so
dude, the
do
one
this.
that, you know, the one.
yeah, because it's like it was that and that is the truth, you know. And like even today, like Trisha was looking at me and being like, you guys had this podcast for 4 years is a long time to do something and to succeed at it and to continue. And even like we posted talking about this and I saw this clip.
Also think it's important to note that not only have they been doing the podcast for 4 years, that's 4 years of having to work with your friend. That's 4 years of having to make business decisions, disagreeing on business decisions, traveling the world, working with, going on tour together. I don't think people are realizing how much that will change a dynamic as well. And if they aren't the closest friends now, it would make sense to me. Oh, Denise is going to the food bowl. I love that her name is Denise. I've never heard of a cat called Denise.
Like it just was clipped of us saying like this is hard and then all the comments are like what sitting down and filming for 1 hour is hard and it's like oh my god get me a gun. Like
Yeah.
I could sit and film like my ears are hot.
It was an exact representation of exactly what we were explaining in the video, which is never that this is hard. This is the most, I mean,
Easy and
physically
privileged like
easy job in the world. Sitting down for an hour, that part of it is easy. Talking to each other, that part of it's easy. Like, I love that aspect of the job. It is mentally just so exhausting and taxing. And like, it's impossible to understand if you haven't experienced it, in my opinion. Like, it's just, I would look at it as an outsider and be like, get it the fuck together, you know?
By the way, I think what they're heavily implying there is all the public speculating about their lives, their relationships with each other, their relationships with their other friends and stuff like that, and that kind of being the thing that ruins it for them.
and like I've really thought about all options and like I don't know. I just think to be living such a happy, peaceful life, I hate where this has gotten. There's just so much negativity and so much drama. And it's just not who I want to be. And it's not what I want for either one of us.
And that's fair.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want the both of us to be happy. Like, so, and like, I just, I don't know. And I really do. I really think that I was like, I'm going to see this contract through.
But it's just hard because it, you know, it extends to what, November, December.
Yeah. And it's like,
I'm going to be honest, I am surprised that they are allegedly preemptively ending the contract. I didn't see that one coming. I knew they hated it. I didn't know they hated it that much.
I cried so hard that I threw up. Like,
Oh my god, Denise is coming back. Denise, do you want to come up? Denise. I don't want to lift you because we've literally only met for a couple hours. I feel like that's too invasive. But do you want to come up here? Yay, Denise! Denise, honey. How are you, Denise? Denise, what is your thoughts on the Cancel podcast coming to a close? She's devastated. You are so pretty. Isn't this literally the prettiest cat you've ever seen? And you're so fluffy. I miss having cats. Tyler and Milo were my two little cats. And Tyler was a Maine Coon, like I said. And Milo was the most beautiful little British short hair. And I've always been like... I remember whenever both of them died, I remember being like, I'll never get a cat again because I'll never be able to, like, replicate the personality of those cats. You know what I mean? Like, it just would be too risky to me. Like, I loved both of them so much that, like, the possibility of, like, adopting another cat and, you know, the personality just not being like them, I'd be like, would I be comparing them to... Oh, Denise. Whatever. And I just, like, once Bonnie and Dolly come back to Brighton, she's making biscuits. Once Bonnie and Dolly come back to Brighton, it's a high possibility that I'm like, oh, if a cat would come up for adoption, because I do like the idea of adopting an older cat, because I've always had cats from kittens. And my friends Kat and Anna, I love their cat E.T. But Denise, you are gorgeous. And I cannot believe how friendly Denise is. Denise, just this fucking name. Considering that, Denise, we've only known each other for like 4 hours. I literally just came into your home and you're accepting me. Denise, you are much too kind. Where's your brother? Where's Roger? Oh. See, now I don't want to move my arm. Denise, you're breaking my heart. Denise, making biscuits. Sorry, I know I'm like dragging this out, but I'm like really having a moment here. Ah! Oh, Denise. Oh, Denise. Oh my god. And she's purring. Oh my god, the ring light just went out. Wait, I kind of like this lighting. Yes, I prefer this lighting. Hold on, let me plug it back in. Denise. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to plug the ring light back in. Denise, you are much too sweet. Okay, I'm gonna have to lift my arm, okay? I have to put the ring light on. Oh, Denise, you're breaking my heart. Okay, wait. Let me put the ring light back on and let's get back to the video. Sorry. I didn't mean to drag that out for as long as I did, but wow. I was really having a moment. Okay. Oh, Denise. You are so sweet. Oh, Denise, please. You're breaking my heart. Oh, Denise. I can't believe you guys haven't met Rodrigo yet, the brother. Let me show you a photo of both of them. I mean, they look so similar. This is both of them. I think I have a photo of both of them together. Yeah, this is both of them together. So cute. Oh my god. Oh, Denise, please. You're being much too sweet. You're being much too sweet. Oh my god, the scammers have... The scammers who stole my phone in Hong Kong have now just sent me another message. I've bought an iPhone 16 Pro Max I'm using. It have your messages, emails, cards, bank notes, and personal information on it. Even your SIM number that you transferred. Baby, I didn't transfer my SIM number. Dumbass. Anyways, back to this.
I literally sobbed my eyes out until I threw up, like thinking about like doing this, which I once, and like it, I just like if something is making you feel that way, like
it doesn't serve
it's
you
no
anymore.
longer serving you, and that's okay. It just is letting go of like something that was such a big part of our lives, you know?
And it is still that. That's just like, I feel like this is true with everything. Like we are, you know, like in our late 20s, well, like I'll be 30, you know, in like a little over a year. Like you're not meant to do anything for that long. You know what I mean? Like everything like has a shelf life and everything you outgrow and you move on from. And like, that's how, you know, like you transition through life. And it's not normal really for anybody to stay in a job for, I mean, of course, like people do, but the natural progression is to move on and do more things and get better and try new things. Like
100,000%.
I'm really trying to look at it as a positive, like, because of course, like I feel the same way, where like
it is. That's what it is I there's a part of me that like an old part of me that hates saying this is a positive, and I hate that I'm saying this is a positive, and then people are going to be so mean and just pick it apart. And like even
I
just
know.
seeing all the like Sophia with an F and Alex comparison, seeing like Brianna Chicken Fry sit down and definitively say they do hate each other.
Yeah, and oh my God.
And it's like, but I also even hate that these words are coming out of my mouth right now, because then that's going to get clipped and then that's going to be like, I
already
so
have that on the side.
Done with like that, with all of that. I'm so drama free, and that's what I want to be. You know what I mean? And it's just like, unfortunately,
I think again, it just kind of is this. It was a different time of their lives, and that's fine. And I think they're saying this and being, you know, so over the top with it because they're trying to keep the fans on side, because the fans are genuinely pissed at them because they're losing their entertainment. And I think it's like an interesting thing of like where fans actually don't care about the people making content; they do just want content, which is sad.
I don't think there's any world where anything can be like rebranded or repaired to be genuinely just drama free and happy. And like,
at least in this, like, I mean, and I try to be careful about saying like maybe later, because I don't want to get anyone's hopes up for something if like we're not necessarily like there in our heads. I just think like there's no world where like anything just gets better like that. Like it's going to take like time and stepping away. And
I also think that it's, obviously I've always said you and I have undeniable chemistry, and I'm so excited to showcase that in different ways. But I just like, yeah, this commitment and this world, the world that around canceled, is just no longer for me. And I have to just like radically accept it. And I think that I'm realizing that strength for me is like putting my foot down and ending it. And like, yeah, I don't know. It does make me, you know, like sad and nostalgic and stuff. Like,
me too. And it sucks because like I hope that it's not, I feel like it sucks for the people who have always been just nothing but like nice and supportive and who just love this show and like shows help them and stuff. And it's like kind of like a hasty generalization to be like canceled sucks. It's so miserable. It's so hateful. It just like, that's been like the overwhelming feeling more so than love. I feel like it's been just.
Yeah. And like
And again, it is important to note, if you do not keep up with this podcast, that a majority of the people that watch this podcast are people that tear them down or that are very intrusive in their lives, if that's the right word to use, or pin them against each other, or pick favorites, or critically analyze their interactions with each other. And I get it. That's exhausting. You know what I mean? I don't see this in any way how the general public who are attacking them see it, if I'm being completely honest. And this is the one time I'm being like incredibly positive on the side of a creator.
More of a negative experience.
I want both of us to heal and grow. Like, you know what I mean? Continue to heal and grow and like be genuinely happy and be our best selves and like all of those things. And you're right. Like, I think even going on tour, like we're going to meet so many girls who are going, it's going to be so hard to like look them in the face and be like, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But you know, you're not dying. I'm not dying. You know,
at all.
And like, I hope.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like I tussle with it daily, but
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like even just the other day when I finally decided, I was like, this has to happen for mental health because it's so important. And like, it is just so clear to me what this is like now doing to my mental health and like your mental health and just all of it. Like just,
it's devastating, but also exciting. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying to look at it again as a positive, which I know for a lot of people, it's not a positive. And like, it's not a positive for me either. It's not a positive for you, but like, so much comes of letting go of things, like especially like before you necessarily feel like you're 100% ready. I know you feel 100% ready. I feel a little bit more apprehensive, obviously.
It's not that. I think that I wrestled with it. You know, I was trying, like I'm saying, I think I was thinking that the embodiment of strength was staying in the contract and seeing it.
I think another point that kind of proves the reason that they have so much like of a toxic mindset towards canceled, which I don't blame them for, is that what Brooke said, which is Tana's walking away, you know, easier than Brooke is, because the general public are like, lol, what's Brooke gonna do? Like, money, Tana's gone. And I'm like, you're directly proving their point that you're not actually watching the podcast to support them. Instead, you're pinning them against it. You know what I mean? It's exhausting.
It through. And then I think that I had to realize it's so easy to stay in something that you know so well. But I no longer feel at home in the way that I did for so long. I just have no choice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have no choice to be happy.
I think that's more important than anything. And I think all the people who love you and love canceled are, I mean,
and I want nothing more than to see you in something that helps your mental health, not hurts it.
Me too.
Like that. It's just like,
it goes without saying that this has been like, I mean, this has been really hard for me for a year.
Yeah. And I think like, again, it was easy and we were trying and fighting for it, but like, it is okay to accept it. And like to all of you, like, I don't know, I want to speak on you, I guess, and forgive me, but like, she is a person that you can make comments on and say all these things. But to me, she's someone that I know and someone that I sat down like doing this for so long with, and someone that I want to see like flourish and thrive and get out of this rat race. I also just, I want that for us. I want to get fucking coffee and laugh and like almost get back to so many ways that we were. And
me too. I feel like it's, to me, I said this on another podcast today, but I just like, thank you. Like no amount of, money or whatever like there is to gain from like doing this is worth like what I feel like we've lost, you know what I mean? Like as a,
damn.
I don't want to say like a consequence or like as a result of canceled, but like you're just like way more important to me than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And like I
love it. It's not about the people. I love.
No, 100%. 100%. It's just like,
it's almost like, it's like it feels to me like one big, like it's hard. I like almost personify. I've told you this before, but it's like, it's hard for me to see it as like some people and some people, like I figure like this is what the common opinion is. And so that is what they think, like,
You're right. Cause at this point, I think staying in it is so untrue to myself, because the only reason I would stay in it was to like reach a goal or for money or to like prove a point. Like all of the reasons that I would stay in it are dark.
Yeah.
And like, it's not authentic.
And I think it also says a lot about both of their self-growths as well, that they're willing to walk away from guaranteed a lot of money for the sake of making themselves significantly happier. And if you like a creator, that is what you should wish
to me.
them.
And like, I don't know, like even I went from like kayaking in the middle of the fucking ocean with no phone, like laughing my balls off. We have to talk about kayaking, by the way.
We have to talk about kayaking, because what do you mean you got on a kayak?
I know. But I went from that to coming inside and like thinking about the nature of things that I was then going to have to talk about 48 hours later and the way that I was going to feel, and just
well,
like,
why don't we talk about kayaking?
No, we're going to talk about kayaking. I'm just like, it is like 100% the right thing to do for the next phases of our life that is going to be so big and beautiful. And we hope that you join us for. And I'm so grateful to both of our fans that love us and support us and just want to see us happy. Like, how special and how beautiful. I had this major, massive realization that it is the most beautiful thing in the world that we wake up every single day and we are able to choose whatever we want to do with our lives. Like I literally got down on my knees and I thanked God that there are these people out here who love me and see me and know me for who I am, and I'm able to do what I want with my life. And I'm so excited for like everything that the future holds for the both of us. And I mean that with everything in me. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just like that stark juxtaposition of like the way that
you felt 2 days ago versus now.
Yeah, like it all just hit me. I literally was like scream sobbing, and like that's crazy. Like I want to be able to put this to bed so that I can look at it with nothing but the gratitude and love I have for Cancelled, because Cancelled absolutely without a doubt changed my life. And like I thank you for holding me accountable so many times, and just like all of the things, like the person I've become across this podcast. And it was such a beautiful thing for both of us to get to share our lives in that way. And like we still will at other capacities, but and even just like this tour, like and
I think as well, like, I think what's fun about watching creators is watch them evolve. And through Cancelled, you watch Tana Mongeau specifically, focusing on her, evolve into completely changing her lifestyle. And if you like Tana, that's all you should really want.
Love touring. Like I did my whole life. And it wasn't until this like past Europe tour that the way things were making me hate something I love so much. And that made me so sad. Like it's the saddest thing in the world to like, and now I'm hoping that knowing that this is like this beautiful last hurrah, that like we are able to go into it with such joy. And that's nothing to do with the fans. I just mean like everything. I'm hoping that we get to like just put our all out there and know that this is the last time that like we are being chaotic. Like, I was going to say for pay, but like,
I mean,
like that we're, but this is like the last time that we're being chaotic. And like, that's beautiful. And I want to take J-Rod and I want to try to like showcase how
Okay, I'm going to leave it there and we're going to talk about that comment. So I saw the Cancelled podcast in London, and when they did their show, and the show was both of them talking about like their wildest sexual experiences. Specifically, Tana was really honing in on this like crazy life that she has. And it was very clear that she was not being honest on stage. She would talk about her relationship with Makoa, but then she would go out on stage talking about, sleeping with this many men in one... Denise, please, your tail. Sleeping with this many men in 1 week. And I knew that she was doing it for the sake of entertainment value, and the stories were probably true. But it knew that was incredibly... She was putting on an act. So, again, that point of being chaotic one more time, I'm happy for them being able to walk away from this, honestly. I don't see it as a big drama, even though clearly the public do. All right, muckers, I will see you in my next one. I hope you're all doing very well. Let me know your thoughts on it, though. Maybe I'm being way too lenient. I'll see you in my next one, and goodbye.